Hi, Patrick here from Have Cheetah Review, and I'm here for another film review, film discussion. And today's movie that we'll be talking about is 2008's The Midnight Meat Train, which was based off a short story based off writer Clive Barker. This is one of the Books of Blood, and this was released on Lionsgate. And I got this at the Family Video. I've had it for a while, so I decided to take it out for a run. I had never watched it before. Heard a few. I just heard just a little bit of people talking about it. Not too many really, considering in the community. But I decided to go ahead and watch it and tell you some of my thoughts. Midnight Meat Train, it features Bradley Cooper as a photographer named Leon, who is trying to make his mark into the New York art world through his camera. He gets an opportunity to do so by meeting a powerful gallery art person and Susan Holt, played by Brooke Shields, who, while she likes his work, encourages Leon to get out there and go a little bit deeper than what he's been doing. So he takes her at his word, and he starts going down and taking pictures in some of the more grittier and grimier areas of New York City. This leads him to a subway where he stops a robbery, possible sexual assault in progress, and is rewarded by a kiss by the victim, but is also finds out the next day that the girl that he helped has now gone missing. That leads him to the cops to show him the pictures that there was a mysterious hand that popped up in there. Maybe there's something there. He has stopped the assault. Maybe the people who he stopped. He stopped. Maybe they ambushed her down the line. He tries to help out with his pictures, but the cops aren't interested. And in fact, they sort of twist it back and make it seem like Leon maybe is a stalker. Not the reaction he was looking for. He goes home, and then he starts poking around, and he finds out there's a lot of missing people on the subway, and he starts becoming rather obsessed. And he goes back down to the subway. He notices the man with the mysterious ring, and he starts following him. That person turns out to be a gentleman named Mahogany, who's played by Vinnie Jones. And Vinnie Jones is killing people on the subway, and Leon, in following him, follows him to a butcher house. He's tracking him, but then Mahogany reverses it and starts tracking Leon, and then Leon starts getting some really strange dreams. And he starts losing his girlfriend because he's becoming his obsessed. And he can't even focus to take pictures because without him, every time he takes pictures, he's seeing the subway, he's seeing Mahogany, he's seeing the victims. So this causes a serious rift with him and his girlfriend, and leads him down a really dark path. The girlfriend, Maya, who's played by Leslie Bibb, she tries to help out with her best friend and to find out, to see if they can help, save Leon from himself. And doing so, they stumble across the same thing he has found out. There are literally thousands of people who have gone missing. And when Maya finds out, she goes to the cops, and she finds out that they are not interested at all in her help. Far from it. This leads to a final confrontation down in the subway between Leon and Mahogany, and the secret that Mahogany has is revealed. And the movie is, let's just say, it doesn't have a really happy ending. Did I like the Midnight Meat Train? Hell yeah. Honestly, I'm sort of shocked that, well, one, I haven't seen it. I've heard about it. It's funny, as I mentioned this in a stream, that I knew about this movie, but it wasn't because of the story, though I realized afterwards that I had read the story a long time ago. I just didn't put it together. I remember this movie being made not because of the of the story or Clive Barker or anything else. What I remember most about it was um, that Brooke Shields was cast in it, and people were surprised that she was cast in a horror movie. Um, and Now she doesn't have a very big part, but it's an important part. It's a catalyst, and that she was really good at it. Actually, you wanted to see more. She was really, yeah, she did well. They have a director's commentary on this release, and they mentioned how came down. She just came down. She wanted to read for it, and she did. I mean, she just, they practically gave. They said they just gave her the part. They couldn't believe that she walked through the door to read for this part, part in their movie. So, director, let's see if I can pronounce this name. It's Japanese. Uh, Raidai Kutamara. I'm probably killing that name. Um, they were surprised, and they gave her a part. They said too that at the time they said that they wished it had been bigger. So that's how I knew about the Midnight Meat Train, but that was it until I saw a copy and I got it for $1. Um, wow, what a great movie! I could definitely see why this is a cult favorite. Young Bradley Cooper, one of his early roles, plays Leon. Leslie Bibb, who looks radiant, plays the girlfriend Maya. You also had Ted Raimi had a small part in this movie. Um, like I said, Vinnie Jones, terrific actor. Vinnie Jones is underrated. He's so good, uh, and he plays Mahogany, and he is not a black and white killer. I mean, he's not a killer just to kill. There's reasons, and we find out, and we also find out that why he's doing it. We find out why the police are in on it. We find out basically it is a ghastly conspiracy, and the Midnight Meat Train goes from a horror film at its heart to going into more science fiction creature feature toward the end, which really is an interesting move. Didn't really see that coming. Didn't really realize what we were watching that until a pivotal scene comes where Vinnie Jones has to battle a subway rider who is just as strong as Vinnie Jones. But Mahogany he's being beaten. He's gonna lose this fight, and then he gets rescued, and then we realize that this is not a slasher film. Like this is a lot more than that, and we find out what it is, and yeah, this sort of reminds me of a story I've referred to before. I read a short story where this man is in an apartment building, and as he's in the apartment building, he's hearing a thumping noise, like a stabbing, like someone hitting a hard like a hard table, and then a sob. So it's like he's like a noise and then a cry, and it starts causing this guy just to go like crazy. Like what's going on here? Why is he doing this? He ends up breaking inside the man's apartment to find that the apartment is just filled with phone books from all over the world. They're stacked everywhere, and the man, he goes and he sees this on the desk. He sees this bent pin, like a needle, and as he finds out that the man himself is death, and what he's doing is that he's killing people by stabbing their names in the phone book, and the only way to stop it is for the person who discovers it to take the pin. And that's what this guy does. The neighbor, that's what he does. He steals his pin, and in doing so, he frees the other man who's been there for hundreds of years, and now he himself has become death. He can't get rid of the pin. He stole it. It's his. It sort of had the same thing a little bit with Midnight Meat Train. Leon is, as soon as he comes across Mahogany, he's destined to take his place. And the film is basically it's the story of how he gets there. Um, it's really good film. It's a really good movie. Bradley Cooper's really good in it. The whole cast, top to bottom, is good. The gore's on point. Doesn't shy away from gore. I love the lighting of the film. It's really muted all the way through. It's not a bright lights at all. It's really everything is discolored, which adds even except for the blood. The blood's probably the only sharp thing in this movie, but everything else is muted. And it works. This is a great movie. I'm glad I found it. I'm sorry that it took me 13 years to find it, but this is sensational, and highly recommend it. My copy of this is from 2008. This is the unrated director's cut, so there's more gore in it. And of course, the back of it during the director's commentary, Clive Barker is with the director, and they share a lot of funny stories about this movie, about how it almost didn't get made. And of course, Clive Barker comments on here about how his movies are always fucked with. His books are always fucked with. And he's right. So there's a director's commentary on there. There's Mahogany's backstory. So there's a little bit of Vinnie Jones in there, including the character, including the bag of tools that he uses, which is really cool to see. There's also a anatomy of a murder scene, so they show you how one of the kills happens. It's cool. It's a good movie. I'd like to see this re-released, maybe cleaned up a little bit, maybe a little bit more features. This deserves a wider release. Maybe like a Shout Factory or a Vinegar Syndrome type of release. Definitely. Or even Lionsgate can come out with a special steel book or something like that. This deserves to be re-released on a much better scale. All right, so that's it for me. Tell me what you think about the Midnight Meat Train. If you liked it or not, leave a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, if you like what you heard, and this is the stuff that we talk about, go ahead and hit the sub button and hit the notification bell, let you know whenever I drop something new, which is quite often. And more importantly, leave a comment down below. Comments help the channel. It helps that channel out a lot. I really do appreciate it, and we do answer every comment that we get. All right, that's it for us. Yeah, until the next one. Peace.